Hey. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Royal King Brian, aka Brian, and you are now back watching another live video. So, I haven't done a live video in like over a week. And I usually been doing them every single week. Um, the reason why I haven't done them in over a week is, as many of you guys know, I started up my own show called the Leave a Legacy Show, and I've been putting a lot of energy and a lot of effort into that. It's not going to be taken away from these live shows. I will be doing that, but I would just be making a schedule. So the Leave a Legacy Show, as you guys know right now, is every 2 weeks, every other weekend. It is either on a Saturday or a Sunday. So these lives are going to be scheduled every single week. I just need to find a day and a time that works. For myself and works for my viewers. I know a lot of my viewers, um, they're both from both coasts now, from the East Coast and the West Coast. But I know a lot of my viewers have jobs and stuff like that. So just making a schedule that works for my viewers and making a schedule that works for me as well. Um, but yeah, so as you guys can see by the title, why did I start the Leave a Legacy Show? And I just want to say this: the Leave a Legacy Show is just starting now in 2021. It just started a month ago, but it's something that I've been working on for years. I actually have about 2 years preparing to launch this show, preparing to do this thing. There's like podcast, but it's not really a podcast, and I'm gonna explain later why it's not a podcast. It's a show, and what my plans are for the show. But the Leave a Legacy Show is something that I've been wanting to do for so long. One, because I believe that by telling stories is how you motivate people and how you inspire people. And I think this is the best way for me to tell stories, not just about myself, but my guests, whoever come on the show, right? So, and I think another great way to see it as for myself is I'm helping a lot of other people grow their personal brand. I'm helping a lot of other people build confidence in speaking. I'm helping a lot of other people get recognition for the work that they do. I definitely speak from experience. When you want to be self-employed, when you want to become an entrepreneur, it's not like taking the traditional route. So you don't get the traditional claps. You don't get the when you go to school. It's like, oh my God, congratulations, you got an A. In business, you could be like, hey, I started a business, and people be like, that's great for you. I don't really care, like, you know. So I want to support those people who are taking those risks. I want to support those people who are putting themselves out there to the world in order to fail. It like if they fail, it's going to be on camera. If they fail, it's going to be on them. Because when you fail at your job, when you have a job, you can blame your boss, you can blame your employees, you can blame the manager, you can blame the system. When you fail doing your own thing, whatever that thing may be, it's on you, right? So when people take risks and they take chances, I want to make sure I put them on, to be commended and to be applauded. So that's the main reason. But I have 5 points that I'm going to touch on. So let's get right into it. Shout out to all three people watching. Shout out to the 3 likes I got right now. I appreciate everybody, the ones that are watching right now, the people that are watching later. So let's get right into it, y'all. So reason number one why I started the Leave a Legacy Show is to show the world that it is possible to take an idea and turn it into reality. And I've done this many, many, many times. But sometimes people need a reminder, or sometimes people they don't believe that you can do it. So they like, do it again. You got lucky that first time. The first time was luck. The second time was luck. The third time was luck. Now, this is like the 20th thing that I've put out to the world that I want to do. And I'm starting to do it, and it's going well, right? So one of the examples is like I'm wearing my own shirt right now. I would tell people like, hey, I want to start a shirt, and I'm gonna start selling clothes, and yeah, whatever. Now I sell clothes. Like, I want to move to California. I ended up doing it. So this is like another thing, right? I want to start my own show. For the people that watched that video before, I want to write a book. I'm already working on that. That's not gonna be out anytime soon, but I am working on a book. It's like a personal story, personal book, right? Personal biography about myself. But this is going to help me capture those moments, right? So doing a podcast, it tells me exactly where my mind was when I watched that episode later on. It tells me what I'm gonna speak about the ideas. I can see how I speak. I can speak how I talk. I can see if I have more confidence in myself, if I'm lacking confidence. And I could get confidence from the people who I'm interviewing, the people who I'm asking questions. So I want to show people, I want to show society, I want to show the world, I want to show people where I come from, people in my old neighborhood, people that used to know me. If you have an idea, that idea can become a reality, right? That idea that you have in your head, you can take it out of your head and turn it into something, right? When I started the Leave a Legacy show, I didn't know it was going to be going as good as it's going. I didn't know that my guests would even want to be on my show. It's a risk that I'm putting out there. Like, hey, I'm gonna have a guest every single show. I'm gonna have a guest. They could tell me no. They can say I don't want to be on your show. But I have that confidence in myself and that work ethic that I'm like, I'm gonna do this so good that you're gonna want to be on my show. People gonna want to even pay me to be on the show, right? They get, Brian, I love what you've done. Can I please be on your show? I'll even pay you to be on your show. So that's like where we're going with this. Shout out to all 5 people watching. Thank you for the 4 thumbs up. Let's keep going. Let's keep growing. So I want to show people that whatever idea it is that you have, stop making excuses. Stop making excuses. Stop making excuses and make it happen. Right? So reason number 2, if you notice so far, I've had 4 episodes, 5th episode's coming out next Saturday. All my guests have been Dominicans or like Spanish people, right? Either they're immigrants themselves or they come from family of immigrants. They're either immigrants themselves or they come from family of immigrants. Because I remember I was talking to someone and their excuse was that the reason why they don't do things and the reason why they don't succeed and why the reason why they don't attempt to do things no more is because they're an immigrant and they come from an immigrant family. So that's why they can't be successful. It's like if the system is stacked against you. So like, oh, the system is stacked against me. I'm an immigrant. So I can't be successful. And I wanted to put people on my show who are immigrants, who come from immigrant families, to show you that's just an excuse, y'all. That is just an excuse. I come from an immigrant family, right? And I'm still going out there and I'm still putting my heart and effort into all these things. So your excuse is invalid. Your excuse is invalid. My very first guest, Gabby, right? I don't know if you're watching or not, but shout out to Gabby. Shout out to all 6 people watching. She came from DR. She ain't know no English. And she has a YouTube channel. She's about to hit 400 subscribers. From a person that didn't know any English, didn't know how to edit videos, didn't know how to be on camera, didn't know what to talk about, didn't have an idea of what she wanted to even do with her channel. She's been putting video and content out and putting herself out there. Even when she's mispronouncing something wrong, she's still putting it out there. She's still putting in effort, right? And I want to commend those people. That's why like she was my first guest. My boy Rob, who I just had the last week, right? He's an immigrant. He had to learn English, right? And he's one of the most successful people that I know coming from my neighborhood, right? So whatever excuse that you have, I don't know the language, I don't have the resources. You have the resources. If you're watching this video right now, you have the resources because you're either watching it on the phone, on the computer, you have internet, or else you wouldn't be able to watch this video. So if you're watching this video right now and you said you want to start a business, you said you want to make a YouTube channel, and you haven't done it yet, there's excuses. There's excuses. Think about it. I don't know who's watching this right now or who's gonna watch it later. Have you said that you want to start a business? I want to do a business. I want to do a YouTube channel. I'm gonna make an Instagram page. I'm gonna make my own website. Have you said those things and you haven't done it yet? Why haven't you done it? Because I work. Because I work. I'm tired. I'm tired at work, right? I started my business having 2 jobs. And for those of you guys that know me, no, that's just straight facts. I was working Monday through Saturday, Monday through Friday as an after school teacher, Saturday and Sunday upstate. And I still had time to start my business. I still had time to get educated. So you're just making excuses, right? So the people that I'm putting on my show, they don't have no excuses. Yeah, they could be stuck. They could not know how to do some things. They could go and do it wrong, but they are willing to fail in front of you guys. They are willing to fail in front of a camera. They are willing to fail and learn from it and get better and have people criticize them, have people laugh at them, have people write negative comments about them, and still do it. So that's why they're on my show. All my guests have dealt through adversity and are overcoming it or have already overcame it. So I have so much respect for the people that come on the show, because not because they came on my show, because they deserve to be on the show. I'm not giving them a platform to tell their story. They've earned the platform to tell their story. They've earned it, right? So if you want to do something, if you want to even be on my show or something, it's not a handout, right? It's not a handout. You have to earn it yourself. And eventually life will reward you, right? And this, you don't even have to be on my show. Life will just reward you for doing the work and taking the risk, right? Without risk, there's no reward, right? So number 3, it also will show you, right? All our guests, we all come from different places, right? Some people were born in DR, some people were born in the hood, some people were born in a better situation, some people were born to better families, some people were born to poorer families, some people were born in a single family home, some people were born without their parent, like they wasn't raised by their parents. But all the guests that I've had on the show, they've still found a way to overcome it and still become successful at what they're doing. So it shows you that maybe the beginning, you're set up to fail. Maybe the beginning is like, man, I had it hard. But the end results for all the people on my show so far is that they became successful. They are becoming successful. They are doing exactly what they want to do. So the beginning is not what matters. The ending, you're gonna get to an ending regardless, whether your ending is here or your ending is up here. The ending is gonna, what matters is everything in between. All the work that you're putting in between, all the not work that you're putting in between, all the work that you're like, I'm going to, you don't do. You're still going to get to an end result. And what is going to be your end result? One of my favorite quotes that I have is from a song that I did a long time ago, is that you will never be happy until you decide to become the author of your own life. Right? That's like my quote right here. You will never be happy until you decide to become the author of your own life. So think about it like this. If your life was a book, if your life was a movie, and your book closes today, your movie ends today, would you be happy with how the book ended? Will you be happy if the book ended where you are today? Look at where you at right now. Look at the goals that you had. Look at the ideas that you had. Look at the visualization for yourself. If your book ends today, you know, what is it that they're going to say about you? Did you accomplish things? Were you a dreamer? Were you a person with a big idea but never reached their potential? Only you know this. It's not for the world to judge. Only you know this. Only you know this. I know for a fact, like if I pass away right now, right, my book closes or whatever, they're going to say, oh, people are going to say, oh, Brian had this idea of moving to California. I'm here now. Right? That's part of my story. That's part of my book. Brian had this idea of buying this car. It's a crazy idea. Why would he get such an expensive car? I've gotten that car twice now. Black one and a white one, right? These crazy ideas. I'm doing it. I didn't want to be the person that's like, damn, Brian, he always wanted to move to California. He never did it. It's too late now. He passed away. I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be the person that says, that is like, oh, Brian wanted to buy this car so much, he was never able to do it. He was never able to accomplish his goal. So look at your goals. And most people have more than one goal. There's a lot of goals that I have. And there's new goals that you can create. There are new goals that you can start and create today. But you have to take action on those goals. You have to take action on the goals. And again, your beginning doesn't matter. However you started, you have no control over that. You have no control when your story is going to end. You have no control about the beginning. You have no control about the ending. All you have control of is everything that you do in between. So I just want to say that everybody who's been on my show, because again, the title of this episode is why I started my podcast, is because it didn't matter where they were born. It didn't matter what situation they were born into. Where they at today is because all the work they did here. All the work they did here. That's why they're on my show, which is like the end right now, because that's where they at. Number 4, everybody has a story to tell. Everybody has a story to tell. There are almost 8 billion people in the world. And while there are a lot of similarities, a lot of people who live very similar to you, your story is unique. Your experiences are unique. The things that you feel, the things that you talk about, the things that you see the world is unique. The way that you talk to people is unique. Everybody has a story, and your story could help somebody. Your story could help somebody else. They're not going to relate 100%, but they can relate 98%, 95%. My inspiration, like I did YouTube, right? I did YouTube and I've inspired people to do YouTube. I didn't know that I was going to do that, but I'm glad that I've done it because I've been able to help other people make money online and feed their kids, feed their family. I've been able to give people something that they've always wanted to do. They're like, man, I never knew I had a passion for this. I did it because of you, and now I love doing this, right? Shout out to Esmelda, shout out to Gabby, shout out to everybody, shout out to Nate, shout out to Chris, shout out to everybody, man. My form of giving back to people is like what I do on this podcast. I want to inspire people. There's people right now who've hit me up who are like, man, I want to be on your show. I want to be on your show. I want to be on your show. And like, yeah, I could easily put you on my show. But if I just put you on my show without having you work for it, I'm doing you a disservice. I'm doing you a disservice because it's like now you're going to get end results without putting in no work. So now you're set up to fail. Now you're climbing that mountain without all that work being put in. And eventually you're going to fall because you ain't know how to even climb. I just put you on top of the mountain. I just put you on top. You don't even know how to get up there, right? You have to go through your own journey. You have to go through your own path, right? You have to tell your own story. You have to fall and get back up. You have to fall down, scrape your knee, scrape your elbow in order for you to learn, like, man, I was maybe running too fast. Let me slow down. Man, maybe I took this trip and I wasn't prepared. Let me go exercise, get in better shape in order to prepare for that next time. Everybody takes losses, but it's how you take your loss. Do you take your loss and get back up, or you take your loss and you stay on the floor? Because I know a lot of people have ambitions. A lot of people have goals. What is your goal? Why haven't you started it yet? Why haven't you started your goal? What is a goal that you set out for in January? In January, when people making their vision boards, do you still have your vision board? Have you been checking on your vision board? Have you checked off anything from your vision board? We're halfway into the year. Have you done anything on your vision board yet? If the answer is no, cool. If the answer is no, cool. But you know what? You could go back because there's still 5 more months left in the year and get some done. Get some things checked off. Cool. Talk to yourself. Hey, man, I messed up. I just got excited to do nothing. I got mad excited. I did this vision board. Yo, I'm excited. I'm going to do this. I'm going to kill it. I'm going to kill it. I'm going to kill it. And then excuses happen. Excuses happen. Excuses happen. You don't even want to look at your vision board no more because you're embarrassed. Well, good thing you're watching this video because I'm telling you, all right, you did this. Stop. It's okay. It's okay. Go finish the year off strong. Go finish the year off strong. Everybody has a story to tell. Tell your story, y'all. Tell your story. You want to start a YouTube channel? The easiest way to start a YouTube channel is to get a camera and start talking. Whether people watch it or people don't watch it, you're going to build confidence in yourself. You're going to get better at speaking. You're going to get better at projecting your voice. You're going to meet new people that you've never met before. Easiest thing to do. Get in front of a camera. Start talking. Somebody somewhere in the world is going to encourage you, relate to your story, the same way people are going to bash you and not relate to your story. The great thing is that you can either block them or just learn how to tune them out, right? So number 5, and this one is basically for myself. Like I said before, I've said this in other lives. Shout out to the 5 people watching. Shout out to the 5 likes as well. I just want to get better for myself. And this podcast is helping me. Doing these lives, not podcast, the show is helping me. Doing these lives is helping me. When I was talking in the beginning, when the lives first started, I was in the kitchen. The lights was trash. It wasn't as bright. It was kind of yellowish. It was a lot more stuttering, and the signal wasn't as great. Now it's been getting better. It looks better. It looks more presentable. I'm speaking better. I have more confidence, and I still have a long way to go. I'm still learning, right? This is why I do these every single week, because as much as I'm giving you guys value and I'm giving you guys information, I go back and I study these things. I go back and I watch the video. Man, I could have done this better here. I could have said this better here. So you should do the same exact thing about your life, about your goals. This podcast is called the Leave a Legacy Show, right? Because that's how I see my life. That's how I see my life. What is my legacy going to be when I pass away? What do I want my kids to remember me for? I don't even have kids, and I'm already thinking about that. I'm thinking 20 years in the future, 15 years in the future, 10 years in the future. But I'm not waiting 10 years for that to take action. I'm not waiting 10 years to take action. I'm taking action now, right? I'm taking action today. So if you have a goal that you just like, oh, in 5 years from now, I want this. It's not in 5 years that you got to start doing it. You got to start doing that today. You got to start preparing yourself to be that person that you want to be in 5 years. Like, I want to be a dad definitely in 5 years for sure. I don't know what's going to come, right? But I'm doing things to prepare myself now. I'm getting myself financially educated now. I'm getting myself financially independent, right? I'm learning about financial literacy because I don't got time to be learning all that when my kid's crying in the middle of the night. So I'm taking advantage now. I'm taking advantage of my time now. I'm taking advantage of my youth now. I'm taking advantage that I'm able to do things now. So I don't have to be balancing everything later on in the future, right? So that's why I started to Leave a Legacy Show, y'all. Yes, it's been 20 minutes. Shout out to everybody watching. Shout out to the 6 likes. Shout out to the 5 people watching right now. And I just want to say, this is for you guys watching. What is a goal that you have? What is a goal that you have not been able to accomplish? And you don't got to write it down in the comment section. You got to write none of that stuff down. This is for yourself. This is not for my video and none of that. And why haven't you been able to accomplish it? And I'm going to tell you right now, that first thing that came to your mind, the first one, when I said that, is an excuse. You have 2 hands, you have 1 brain, 2 feet, 1 heart. You're healthy enough to make the decision. You're healthy enough to make the decision. One of the things that I loved about my show with Joe's Madi, who's my cousin, is that she was talking about her mom, right? She was talking about her mom, like her mom left New York, and she was young, and she didn't want to move. She didn't want to move. And she's like, yo, years later, I didn't know that my mom made a sacrifice for me. I didn't see it as a sacrifice. I saw it as like, yo, why are you doing this to me? You're hurting me right now. But she said that is the best thing that her mom could have ever done for her. That's like the best gift. It was the greatest gift that her mom could have ever done for her, because her mom put her in a situation that whether she knew it or not, it was going to better herself. Right? Me moving from New York to California, whether my future kids, that I don't have kids right now, whether they know it or not, they're gonna get raised in a better neighborhood than I was raised in. They're going to get raised in a better environment than I was raised in. And it's not for me to go and be like, you see, you grew up better than I did. Nah, that's my job to make sure that the future generation is set up to win, not set up to lose. And whether they understand it or not, it's okay, right? So for yourself, y'all, I want everybody to be great. I want everybody to think about their legacy, right? If your book ends today, would you be happy with how your book ended? If your movie ended today, would you be happy how your movie ended? Right? Because we never know when is the ending. We don't control the beginning. We don't control the skin color we were born. We don't control the height that we were born. We control everything in the middle. And right now, this is the middle. This is the middle, because you're still alive, right? Your story hasn't ended. So what are you going to do about it? So I just want to appreciate everybody who was watching the show. The next guest on the Leave a Legacy show will be next weekend. It's our biggest guest. I'm super excited. I'm super excited for you guys to see The show is going to be our biggest show. It's going to be very different than the previous shows just because it is a big deal. And it's our 5th episode. Like, when I started the show, I didn't know I was going to have 5 episodes. I was like, man, maybe nobody's going to watch it. I'll finish it at episode 1 or episode 2. But it's going really well. And it's all because I took a risk and I took a chance on doing it. So shout out to everybody watching. Shout out. Thanks for sharing with us. Notepads, thumbs up, claps. Thank you to everybody watching. It's your boy Royal King Brian, aka Brian, like I always say. And yeah, y'all, thanks for the live. Peace. And of course, you already know. Shout out to Starbucks, man. Shout out to Starbucks. Peace, y'all. Have a good one.